Welcome to another episode of our journey into happiness, where we explore the myriad ways people find joy and fulfillment in their lives. Today, we dive deep into the exhilarating world of hobbies, where passion meets purpose.
That's what keeps me going and what I enjoy now, right, is everything that's important on a race car is invisible, those angles, the physics of it, and trying to manipulate that in a way that no one has thought of yet.
For many, hobbies are more than just pastimes. They are a sanctuary where creativity flourishes and mastery takes shape, whether it's the roar of an engine on a racetrack or the gentle strokes of a paintbrush. These pursuits ignite a fire within us, reminding us of what it feels like to truly live.
That adrenaline rush, nothing makes me happier, and nothing will make me more happy in this world than sitting in victory lane holding that checkered flag.
Join us as we celebrate the power of hobbies to bring happiness, to nurture mastery, and create lasting memories. Together, let's explore how the simple act of pursuing what we love can illuminate our paths and lead us to a more joyful existence. In our last episode, we visited trail tours where people work by sharing joy and passion over a skill with their customers directly. For many of us, that's just not possible. We may work in an office environment or a factory. So our joy, our sense of purpose, our mastery has to be found someplace away from our work. For one family, their hobby is racing cars, short track oval racing specifically. Our question, though, was where do they find happiness in this? Is it the family legacy, in this case 3 generations of racing? Is it the camaraderie and the community at the racetracks? Is it the late nights and evenings and weekends with the family working together in the garage? Where are the elements of happiness coming from? Is it purpose? Is it mastery? Is it creating a vehicle and having it perform properly? Where do we find this happiness? So you sort of lived it.
Yeah, born into it, grew up watching Dad, dreaming about driving a car when I got old enough.
Well, was it that you were dreaming about driving a car, or was it you were dreaming to be like Dad? Do you know?
Probably both, but it was the want to take the wheel. It looked like a cool thing to do, right? And when you're in the car, like I've always said, one of the best happy places outside the car and before the race and that there may be tension, but once you get in the car, you're in the eye of the storm. Everything slows down and you're calm. You've seen the way I was in the pits, and that's just the pre-race jitters like a hockey player when they're playing the anthem, how they're bouncing on their skates.
Yeah.
But once you get in the car and flick that toggle, what you were saying about being in the flow, once you hit that and the engine fires, you're pulling the track, the world disappears. It's just you in the car against everyone else.
I can't imagine fitting in this thing.
Wow, it's designed for Alex, right?
No, I know.
I always use his...
He's your younger, skinnier version.
Actually,
I mean that in the most loving way.
Mentally, yes. Physically, Cam is my twin. Cam's my spare parts.
Is he? Okay. Anything goes wrong, right?
Yeah. It's like, oh, well, I need to borrow that.
Yeah.
I mean, Alex was the same as I was as a kid, right? He was always at the races, watching the races, always playing with race cars, always scooting around here on a 4-wheeler. So it's a natural progression to see, hey, you wanna give it a shot?
So Alex, do you remember your first race as a kid?
That probably would have been at Mossport doing the arrive and drive. I can't say that I remember it specifically. I did a go-kart camp for, what was it, a week, Dad? About a week. And then that was when we were like, okay, well, time to start racing, I guess. It's a hard feeling to describe, really. It's the only thing I've ever known and the only thing that will make me happy, but then also ruin my life at the same time in a split second. It's a very humbling sport. As soon as I got into racing, I knew I didn't want to stop. It's the only thing I've ever really had natural talent at. I love it. I don't really know how else to describe it, to be honest. I love it. I seem to be getting more and more into it as I go through the years, to be honest, especially as I gain more knowledge and can do things myself. It just drives me to do better.
And what happened with your brother?
Good question. Good question. Well, Cam unfortunately isn't really into the whole working on the car and doing what it takes to win kind of thing. He'd just prefer to show up and drive, but in this shop, that's not how we roll.
Did Cam race much? Did he do much?
Yeah, he ran go-karts at Kawartha.
Did he?
And he actually did win a championship, and once he was championship won, thanks
like,
guys.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks
I'm
so
out.
much.
I'm good.
But you felt the...
Yeah, as soon as I got behind the wheel, I had the itch, and I haven't got rid of it since, so.
Yeah.
Hence why we're going racing this year, one way or another. It's not going anywhere.
My dad tried to talk me out of racing.
Did he?
Yeah. He's like, you're crazy. You're going to never have any money. You're going to work all the time. He goes, it's like being a drug addict, except it's way more work. When Dad raced, it was like a second job, the salary that they were winning more than they made for a week's wages. Now, for all that work and money spent, it's the same money as it was 50 years ago. By the time I started to race, racing had gone from being a viable way of making a living to strictly a money-sucking hobby.
So I just kind of use this handy-dandy air over hydraulic jack to just kind of lift this thing up, take the blocks out, drop it down to the ground with this homemade cross beam. Everything in this shop tends to be homemade if we can make it. Well, we're going to get ready to load this thing at some point. We can head off to the track, so got the trailer would be a good idea. Got that one. See you guys there.
Do you think it makes him happy?
I've seen what I like to say is probably the best and the worst sides of him while he's racing. I do think overall it makes him happy, 100%. And it's so nice to see how he has passion for it, even after all this time. And I just don't think he'd be the same without it.
Funny that you say religion, because around here racing almost is a religion, right? It's very much a way of life. Is you work, eat, sleep, and race. That's the way my life was since I was a kid, right? Yeah, there's happy times, and especially those moments when you get the car perfect. When you just are absolutely faster than everyone and you know it. You actually are smiling ear to ear in the car as much as as you've seen from the video footage, it's like riding a bull, but you're still enjoying it. There's been a lot of good times and bad times. It's like I said, racing is a very much an emotional roller coaster and every emotion you can think of. But, the good outweighs the bad in the end.
Have you ever missed a race?
Yes, I have. I have missed some of Tom's races and I have missed some of Alex's races. So sometimes life takes over.
Of course.
My job is demanding, so sometimes I can't always be there.
Yeah.
So I have, though, missed races.
What does it feel like to miss a race?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrible. I wish that I could be at every single one. I do everything I can to be at every single one because I just need to be there. I need to see what happens. I need to make sure everything's okay. And even though I have no control over that at the time, I worry. So I worried when Tom raced, and I worry the same, if not more, when my son races. So it's a lot. It's a lot of emotions.
You have to count on the driver for something, and you have to count on the race car for something. If one isn't working, chances are you're not going to be super successful. You're a team. Like when I get in the car, me and the car become one. I can feel everything in the car. I can feel if the left front's going flat. I can feel, you know, if it's loose, if it's tight, if the wheel's chattering. So if one doesn't work, then the other doesn't really correspond super well.
Yeah, never really got it up there. What was her water temp? Nowhere near me. You didn't push any water out either, eh? No, because it didn't like up to like, oh, that's good.
In a world that often prioritizes work and responsibility, it's essential to rediscover the joy that comes from what we love. As we witness the transformation of passion into skill, we uncover how these moments of fulfillment enrich our lives, fostering deeper connections with ourselves and those around us. But you're happy the family of racing is interesting for you.
That's been one of the best parts for me, honestly, because when I go to the track, right, Alex is so busy. He's working on his car, he's warming up, he's doing all this, and I end up just kind of making new friends and meeting everybody in this community, and they've taken me in so well. Everybody's so nice. One of the first things I asked his cousin Christy was about that feeling on race day, and like, does it get any less nerve-wracking, you know? How do you make it better? And of course, no, it doesn't get any less nerve-wracking, but I do think that finding support from that community just helps. No matter what, you'll have somebody there to talk to you and they'll be there with you. Even while he's out on the track, I have my own kind of little community to support me and him.
Once that helmet is on and the car is on and we roll onto the track, there's no more friends. It's just me against everyone else, and it doesn't matter who you are. I'm going to do what I have to do. I am there for the checkered flag and the checkered flag only.
Surrounded here with race families and all the sweat and tears and late nights and putting these machines together, everything from these little guys and straight up to the biggest and most powerful, and trucks here and everything today. And you can just feel the energy. I mean, there's something about the sound of a race engine, you know. It creates the adrenaline in the body. You know, you can feel the excitement. And, you know, as a spectator, I feel it. I can't imagine what it's like. I mean, you must get tuned and honed in to, you know, calm as a race car driver. Quite a spectacle. How much do you think about limits when you're racing?
I drive it to the limit and try to keep it on that edge. That's probably the hardest part of driving a stock car, is you have to keep it on the edge of out of control. But you can't go past the edge because bad things tend to happen.
What does it feel like to get it on the edge and it work out well?
There's like almost no better feeling. It's almost like a surprise. Like a good example would be like, we're racing around Peterborough Speedway. We're flying down the backstretch as fast as we can and we hit corner 3. And you send it in just a little bit farther than you normally would before you stomp on the brakes, right? And it sticks, keeps to the rumble strip. And you just, you know, suck up to the car right in front of you. It's a great feeling, because you're like, so I can keep doing this and it's gonna, you know, it should stick.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling.
describe the last 2 laps. Describe the last 22 seconds. Describe the last 3 seconds. Did you know you were on the last lap?
Yep, I did, and obviously came by the flag, and it was like, to me, it was now or never. I was, out of race shape, already dead tired, had nothing left to really fight with. It was do or die, so I, sent it in as hard as I thought I could, and it was just over that edge that we also talked about, right? I went over that edge. The car let me know very quickly that we went over that edge. I felt the weight just leave the rear wheels, and obviously made contact and watched second place drive clean by. That's obviously, for anyone who watches the video, will see that I wasn't very happy about that. And for the record, it did not break my hand.
Yeah, no fractures in any of the hand bones. Yeah, good.
No, all good.
So fond memories for me is when almost the race is over and everybody's fine.
Everybody's fine?
Everybody's fine.
Yeah.
There was no accidents, there was no broken bones. It's very difficult to find something fond when you're concerned about what's going to happen on the track. So the relief part of it is after everything is over, that everybody's fine. Because it's difficult to watch sometimes, depending on who's racing, whether it be Alex, and at the time Tom. Sometimes it was a real dogfight, right? And it was just difficult to watch. The bumping and the spinning and the who knows. I've seen Tom have broken bones from accidents on the track. It's difficult to take. So, which is why I wish that I was at every race, but couldn't be. Something that you don't want to hear secondhand, right? Everybody's fine. The car's in one piece. That's, I think, the biggest relief moments for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here she is. This was basically my first ever oval track car. This thing was built pretty well from the ground up, tube for tube, in that shop over there. Parts from friends, and a lot of stuff was just kind of made in our machines. I ran it for probably about 6 races in 2016, and I went and broke my leg playing hockey, so that was unfortunately the end of that. And it's been sitting in this shed ever since. It's kind of a shame to see it here, but you can't get rid of it. It's a piece of our family history now. So
we've learned by following this family that passion and a hobby brings them together as a family. It brings them together in their community. It generates this energy within each of them. Some anxiety, some passion over mastering a vehicle and mastering the vehicle on the track. But what are the takeaways for the rest of us? It's not easy for us to go and start a racing career. But when we look at our hobbies and our choices with our time away from work, are there ways for us to hone these elements of creativity and use those to create more fulfillment and more purpose, and therefore more happiness for ourselves? I think there's a real part of watching this family that causes reflection for me in my own life in how well I spend my non-work time. Are you proud of what you've accomplished so far?
Absolutely. I honestly am kind of surprised that I've accomplished what I have. I mean, championship in OMRS, multiple feature wins. Looking back on the go-kart days, obviously, back then it meant a lot. It doesn't mean so much these days, just because I was a lot younger then, and like, it was go-karts, right? It's like child's play, really. Now that we're in the big boy stuff, it's nice to look back and think, I won a championship in a full-size race car, and I can win features in a full-size race car.